If you care about coffee, it's about to get a lot more expensive under Trump tariffs. He just put a 50% tariff on Brazil for coffee exports, and he already had a 10% baseline tariff on all exports. So that means coffee's about to get a lot more expensive. I love coffee. This directly affects you every day. Most Americans drink coffee.
Hi guys, have you noticed that coffee is now insanely expensive? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you for stopping by on this channel. All credit goes to the creators in these videos. And guys, in today's video, because of tariffs, US taxes on imported beans, especially 50% on Brazilian coffee, this is eating small roasters and cafe squares in the wallet. And these coffee shops are trying to survive because they are raising your latte prices by $1, and they are praying and hoping you don't switch to tea. It's like insane enough that global prices are already high. Shipping is rough already, and now the morning coffee is about to get more expensive. And Brazil is the world's biggest coffee supplier. I mean, other countries like Vietnam and India are also affected. But y'all know that America doesn't grow coffee. Every bean we'll drink has to come from abroad. And with these new taxes, the price of importing coffee has just jumped up. Guys, I need to know your thoughts in the comments. Let's see what these creators have to say.
Now, your coffee prices are about to skyrocket in the United States of America because of one thing: Donald Trump's tariffs on Brazil. He announced earlier this week 50% tariffs on Brazil, but we're learning more about the impacts of these tariffs specifically on the coffee sector. If you didn't know, Brazil imports more green coffee beans than any other country in the world to the United States, or rather exports, sorry. In addition, Brazil's coffee beans account for about a third of the coffee supply coming into the United States. That's according to Reuters. Because of that, 50% tariffs will make it very difficult for Brazilian exports to come in. It will make it impossible at the current price, but it'll make it very difficult just generally, placing a strain on the coffee supply coming into the United States, which means that starting on August 1st, coffee prices across the country will go up. And it'll impact not just the Brazilian coffee that's coming in, but also coffee from other countries across South America. So we're going to see what happens.
Another round of tariff whiplash. If you're worried about the coffee prices increasing because of the tariffs that start tomorrow, here is a little bit of information that might help you. Freeze-dried coffee is not made from Brazilian imported coffee. It is not likely to be immediately impacted by tariffs. Brazil is the largest supplier of coffee to the US, by the way. Before you go, ew, instant coffee, toss that little ew, instant coffee thought out of the window. Toss it aside. Instant coffee is very similar to fresh brewed coffee. It's brewed in huge batches, and then it's either freeze dried or like spray dried. Either way, it has 10-20 year shelf life, even for you coffee snobs. And it is real brewed coffee. So one step ahead of the tariff whiplash that starts tomorrow, think about going and stocking up on instant coffee. Or if you want to stash some in the back, but you don't want to invest in a top tier freeze-dried coffee, sell freeze-dried coffee at the Dollar Tree, which really doesn't taste horrible. It's already in a glass airtight container, so you can store it long term. It'll stay dry in the container that it's in. It's only $1.25 for now. If you want to run to your local Dollar Tree and stock up on some cheap freeze-dried coffee to get you through the tariff whiplash, or go and stock up on the good stuff because it won't be impacted immediately by these tariffs. Just a little tip from a prepper to help you get through what
that we could be seeing a 25 to 50% raise on the price of coffee because of this whole thing that's going on with Colombia. A pack of 25K cups is already $350,000. How are we supposed to go on like this? If you're wondering what's going on with Colombia, you haven't heard about it, you're living under a rock. Basically, they didn't want to take planes of deported people. They turned the planes away. Trump was like, okay, well, if you're going to turn the planes away, we're going to put tariffs on you. We're going to take away, visas. They're going to do a whole bunch of stuff. So Trump said 25% tariff for you. Then there was some reports of the Colombian president, retracting that, saying, okay, we'll take the deported people, whatever. And then there was also reports of them placing tariffs on the United States. Now we get a really good majority of our coffee from Colombia. And we've all learned on here what tariffs actually are. The costs of the tariffs are passed on to the consumer. So soon, you may be paying more for your.
Which place is that, sir? Can you explain that to me? Because right now, what we are saying is absolutely ridiculous. We are going to punish them for having a leader who did not relinquish the power. Can you explain what's got to do with us and why do we have to pay for it? You do understand that the 50% tariff is imposed on the US importers, not on Brazil. I've seen a lot of comment that saying, oh, they deserve it, they gotta pay for it. They ain't paying for nothing. We are going to be the one paying for it. Let me explain to you how it works. When the shipment is imported into the United States at the port, you have to submit an entry to US Customs. And what they do is they look at that tariff and they see if there's tariff against it. When there's a tariff, that means the buyer, let's call it ABC Coffee, they're going to pay for it, the duties plus 50% tariff. Say, for example, they pay an additional $5,000. They're going to turn around and bill that $5,000 to the distributor who is distributing the coffee. Then they're going to distribute it on the Walmart, the Publix, the Walgreens, all the stores. And those stores are going to have to increase the unit cost of each coffee box by 2%, whatever it is that they're going to distribute. They're going to have to make the calculation to do it. That means when you go to the shelf and pick up the coffee, it's going to be the original $5 plus the 2% duties, the $2 duties that you did not realize you paid for it. This is the reason why the tariffs are not being properly utilized, and that's what we're discussing here. Not we're going to punish a nation that she didn't do anything to us.
Absolutely, will tell you. I can tell you in my area, I bought coffee this morning. I bought Folgers just because whatever. That was what was on sale at my grocery store, but I bought it specifically because it was on sale. It was on like a weekly special at Kroger for $8.99. And I think the regular price is $14.99, but after the 6th, then I'm not sure what coffee will be because, surprise, we don't make coffee beans here in America. The only U.S. state that does make coffee beans is Hawaii, and I'm not sure if you've ever had that coffee. It's phenomenal coffee, but it costs an arm and 2 legs. Also, you are wrong. I know that's what you hear, but that is not correct. You said that I hear we are not paying the tariffs. That is not passed on to customers. Yeah, that is incorrect. We absolutely pay the tariffs. So the way that tariffs work is if the U.S. places tariffs on another country, that country is not responsible for the tariff. The tariff is not even placed on a product until it arrives in the U.S. So whatever company ordered those goods from whatever country has the tariff, say Brazil, because we were talking about coffee, whatever. So if we place a 50% tariff on Brazil, the exporters in Brazil do not pay that tariff. The corporation, the company that is ordering those products from Brazil, they are the ones that pay the tariff. That's how tariffs work. That's why it's a bad economic policy. Like, it can be okay if it's used strategically. Like, we wanted to manufacture chips here, so we placed a tariff on chip manufacturing because we wanted to build up the industry here in the United States of America so that once we had it perfected, we would be the #1 producer. We would be able to export our chip manufacturing to other countries. So there was a tariff placed, but that's a strategic tariff. Blanket tariffs are horrible economic policy. As a matter of fact, that is what led to the Great Depression. So you're wrong. You have been told wrong, and likely from Fox News, because that is the fleecing that they are doing to their viewers. They are telling them, no, the customers don't pay that. The other countries pay it. I did a video last night where Fox News posted on the Book of Faces. Oh, it's a record-breaking, unprecedented $150 billion paid by foreign countries. Foreign countries aren't paying it. The reason that foreign countries are concerned about tariffs is because it limits U.S. companies from being able to purchase their products. But they don't pay them. Like, that's not the way a tariff works. I don't know.
I mean, that's well explained. If you still don't understand, a tariff is a tax that the government charges on goods coming from another country. For example, if a US company imports coffee beans from Brazil and there is a 10% tariff, the company importing the beans has to pay 10% extra in tax when bringing those beans into the country, right? at first the importing company pays the tariff to the government, but the truth is just that they don't want to lose money. I mean, who wants to lose money? So they have no choice than to raise their prices, and when they raise their prices, the stores will pay more and the consumers will also pay more at the checkout. So while the government collects this tax, the cost lands on the customers. Guys, I need to know your thoughts in the comment section. Thank you for watching my video, and I'll see you in my next video. Stay safe. Ciao.